were in great pain of avodah gedayla, but the tshuva, and they were involved in the great avodah of tshuva, b'sigufim v'tainism, fasting, David, and paining themselves. Ukedayma b'inyan avodah she'enim l'fi erkam klal. They did something that's not at all for the. It's not based on who they are. They did something that was totally outrageous in a way in their tshuva. Why? Because they were doing tshuva for the generation. The chol in Yonei Asigufim, the Rebbe says in the parentheses, an interesting thing, Al Pi Chassidus, all types of, how do you type sigufim, like a good word in English, sigufim? Punishments? The chol in Yonei Asigufim, punishing yourself, it's not applicable to real tzaddikim, bali madrega. They don't, they're not, they don't need it. Why did they engage in the Shaya? Because of the sin of the generation. Therefore, they pained themselves and tortured themselves in a sense. That's the meaning, that the leader of a generation is nitfas. Sender. He's nitfas. He's grabbed, meaning he incorporates himself into the sin of the generation. He repeats himself. He finds this issue within himself. When you learn this, we always ask ourselves, what is the Maisa Yedua? He says, as the known story. So I think that the Maisa Yedua, we asked our Mashpiyim, and I think it refers to a Maisa with the Mittler Rebbe, or the second Lubavitcher Rebbe, where someone came to him and they had committed a terrible transgression involving sexuality with an animal. I don't know, one of these, very type of behaviors that was like of deviance, And the Rebbe's a tzaddik. And he came to ask the Mittler Rebbe for a tikkun. It was about tshuva. I did it. I cleaned up my act. I want to clean up my act. Give me a tikkun. How can I correct this? And they say that the Mittler Rebbe was struggling, and he came out of the room sweating. Why was he sweating? Because he was trying to do this avodah of finding it within himself, and he couldn't find it within himself until he realized that on his desk he had a coin. In those days, the Russian, the ruble, the coins, they had pictures, like we have pictures too. And there was a picture of a coin of a woman on his desk on the coin. So the Rebbe said that, although he wasn't aroused by the picture of it, but he thought maybe that was like, by him, a source to that transgression that the person did. Don't ask me the connection. What's the connection between that affair? Because we have to first verify what the sin was. I heard something along these lines. I'm just giving you an example. So they say, K'maisa Yedua, I believe, is a reference to this story with the Mittler Rebbe, but because it's so private and so sensitive, they didn't want to write it openly. But the point being that a person has to, when he's giving heichacha, this is the message for us and over here, when you're giving musar, don't say, look, I have no connection to this. And it's your issue. You goofed up, you transgressed, and I'm letting you know about what you did and how outrageous it is, and do tshuva and don't do it again. But the sense is that you're coming with this attitude that has nothing to do with you. Says the Rebbe, just the opposite. If you want to succeed in giving musar, the person has the sense in you that you're taking it personally, and somehow, in a very refined way, you also have some of that inside yourself. And I believe if we think this way and we program our brain to look at things this way, we will see that there's truth. That there is somehow the issue at hand. Somehow, again, it's hard to find. Like he says, this, K'maisa Yedua, because some sins are so far removed from who we are Bechlal Yidden, people who were sensitive to Musar and Hasidus, this was their approach. They never said, "Oh, look, I have no connection to what the other person's doing." The attitude was, "I'm also guilty. I'm also guilty, but I didn't do that transgression." Yes, you did. First of all, he doesn't say these words here. Kol Yisrael Ravim Zeh Lezeh. All Yidden are responsible for each other. So if someone else is doing something, you are responsible. But even outside of that idea, Kol Yisrael Ravim Zeh, if you think about it, you'll see that you also. No, it's
thinking about now, it's almost as if you're turning yourself into a hypocrite.
Why a hypocrite? No, why a hypocrite? You're coming with a sense of humility.
But we spoke about how
No, we're not. No, I think I understand what you said, and the response is, you're not coming with an arrogant attitude. You're coming with a humility. I'm upset about it.
Yeah.
So why are you a hypocrite? If you're upset about what you did, you're being honest.
about how if you hurt someone and you give them criticism on something you're doing yourself, then they're not going to be a vessel for it.
Right, but you see from the structure of how he builds this idea.
I think that what he's trying to say is that the whole idea is to be able to walk in someone else's shoes.
Yes.
To feel his pain.
I agree.
So if you somehow can connect to some connection to the person's avera, then you can sort of put yourself in his shape.
And
not that you are.
What if it's not so abstract?
If it's not abstract, so you're really giving Musa to yourself. if you're giving Musa to someone else, you're really giving it to yourself.
Okay, and what? No.
So as long as you're honest and
I'm just saying again. This comes back to this point from last week that I brought up. That I think it's interesting that you may in fact in a very blatant way be doing this avera that you're approaching this person.
That's right. So it depends how you do it. As if you're smoking a cigarette and you come to someone else and says you shouldn't be smoking, right? That's one thing.
Right.
But if you say we shouldn't be smoking, I also have this problem. So that's
Right. So
that you're saying you're not speaking. You're saying that you're including yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So that has the effect.
right. Again, and as he started.